We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We seek His guidance, mercy and blessings. And more importantly, we seek His light so we can see better what is right and do it, and see better what is wrong and avoid it. We bear witness that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah. And we bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His servant and messenger. Whoever does his or her best to follow him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judges by intention and effort, not by results. Let us make intention to follow this great man who showed us how to live and to be close to Allah and close to humanity. He inspired us, He guided us, until today He is still guiding us by the mercy, by the Quran and the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters, we continue with the ayah number 21 from Surah Al-Dhariyat, Surah number 51. And this is our 9th part in this tafsir of this very small ayah. وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. We spoke about the bones last time. Now we speak about something very, very interesting. Unfortunately, 15-20 minutes will never do justice. So I encourage you to read and search. This is what Allah is telling you. And in yourselves, don't you see my work, the miracle? And we talk today about the blood and the veins. Blood. You heard the saying, blood is life, or life runs through the blood. Blood. And we've seen, unfortunately, lately a lot of blood, especially in Gaza and Palestine. And they said ceasefire, but still there is blood flowing in Gaza. Please don't forget Gaza, because some people say, okay, we still have to do dua. Yes, they said there is ceasefire, but people are dying. And still people are starving and hungry. Please don't forget them. Yeah, they've seen a lot of blood. This blood is unbelievable. By the way, you know a lot of people in Gaza who died? Not necessarily by shooting, indirectly. The people with kidney problems, with dialysis, they died. Thousands of them. You know, you must have a relative or someone you know that has to go to the hospital a couple of times or more, to the hospital for dialysis. You know, I'm sure somebody here with us goes to dialysis. It's very common, because they need to change and clean the blood, because the kidney is not functioning well. So my brothers and sisters, the blood, red and beautiful, but also scares us when we see it. The psychology of seeing the blood. But that blood is a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is why we speak about the circulatory system, which transports oxygen. The blood carries oxygen. When you breathe, oxygen is carried by the blood, by those blood cells. And then nutrients. When your sugar is low, how do we know that? We check the blood. Sugar is high, we check the blood. Nutrients, including sugar and oxygen. Who is the transporter? The blood. This is one of among the greatest signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the blood. This is a miracle within our bodies. The miracle not only of the blood, but the veins, like we mentioned before. It is a living system that never sleeps. You are sleeping, but it's not sleeping, including the blood pressure, as we will see later, if we have time. A design very, very precise. So precise that no human mind can truly grasp its depth. Let them find something like a blood and put it in robots. Good luck. Let them do AI, technology, bring all the scientists. They can't. Allah speaks in the Quran, challenging humanity just to bring a mosquito, a fly, a house fly. We can't. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting forward many challenges in the Quran, especially those who say, yeah, we can do what God does. Inside of each one of us 100,000 kilometers of blood vessels. 100,000 kilometers. You go around the earth, it's not going to be that much. You have to go around the earth how many times? 100,000 kilometers of blood veins. La ilaha illallah subhanah. Carrying life cells. So these cells, every cell is life for you. Our hearts, they beat, and we spoke about the heart. Not enough, I believe, but we spoke. It beats 100,000 times every day. Moving the sacred river of life. Let's call it sacred river of life inside your body. Through our bodies, it's flowing. Think about it. Who would have thought of that? And the same thing for animals. But for human beings, remember we said ahsani taqweem? It's even challenging. The blood in human. Remember what I said? We are the only ones who stand upright. Hence, we're talking blood pressure, gravity, compared to animals. See how animals, or fish, or other animals, birds, look us. That's even challenging for the blood to flow. You are fighting gravity. That's where blood pressure comes. La ilaha illallah. That's why saying human beings is the perfect. The skin, the temperature, the blood, the bones. Allah created. But in human beings, He said, I did the best creation. Ahsani taqweem. Not just the look. Some translated in tafsir, the way we look and shape. No, look inside. The blood itself in human beings, how it moves, is very challenging because we are upright creatures. La ilaha illallah. Who taught the blood to move? Who showed the path for the blood? They have a surgery and they stitch, and then subhanAllah, the blood finds a way around it and continues. Subhanallah, doctors know what it means. The heart pumps life, the veins return it, and the blood flows in perfect harmony, obeying the command. They say Mother Nature. I say no Mother Nature. Allah, intelligent being who planned everything. By the command of Allah, the blood is flowing. This is written by who? By the best engineer, architect, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When next time you say subhanallah, think of these things. If one small vessel in your body blocked, what happens? The body suffers. You may have some complication, you know. This shows us how delicate and perfect this balance truly is. Allah says in the Quran, صُنْعَ اللَّهِ الَّذِي أَتْقَنَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. This is the handiwork of Allah who perfected all things. This perfection, my brothers and sisters, cannot be by accident according to some big mouths out there. Oh, it just happened. Wallahi, the stupidest thing to say that all of this happened accidentally. Denying the work of the worker. You go to an island, far away, remote, no signs of humanity. While you walk in the island, you find a hut. You go inside the hut to find furniture, spoons, dishes, cabinets. Will you say no human has ever come here? It happened by accident. Which is more complicated, the human body, the circulatory system of blood and veins, or just a hut with some cabinets and woodwork? They still tell you, oh, there's no comparison. No. I'm telling you, one vessel is blocked, you have to call 911 sometimes. Small things. This perfection, my brothers, didn't happen by accident. It is a sign of divine wisdom. The mercy and precision of Allah in every single cell, every beat of your heart, every breath you take in. Blood carries oxygen, nourishment, as we said earlier, and healing as well, and reparation. When there is damage, it repairs by itself. Of organs as well, every organ. It brings life to what would be otherwise just dust. Allah created us from dust. Subhanah. When it stops, when blood stops, life ends. How do we know someone dies? Usually when we go visit people, when we see that there is something wrong, the person getting cold, that means blood circulation is going down. Oxygen is not carried to the organs. The person is dying. And then we find when he gets cold, especially around the feet, if you have a loved one, get ready. Strangely cold, you know the person is leaving, unless Allah gives him or her visa extension to stay here. And sometimes there is no need to stay here. Leaving is better. Rasul say, بَلِ الرَّفِيقُ الْأَعْلَى. If I have done my job, let me go back to Allah. My brothers and sisters, think please, inside your veins runs a miracle so constant that we cannot forget it. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides to stop it, it stops. The veins that carry blood back to the heart are amongst Allah's miracles and a perfect creation. So my brothers and my sisters, each is lined with tiny one-way valves, guiding blood upward even against gravity. And I'll talk about this in a minute. If one valve fails, swelling or pain occurs. A reminder of how dependent we are on Allah's mercy in even the smallest veins, smallest details. Blood pressure, I'll explain it, is a ni'mah, is a blessing, is a miracle by itself. Blood pressure, why you measure your blood pressure, has to be between certain numbers. You know, less than 120 is perfect. 120 by 70, that's they say the perfect. You know, if you go higher, be careful. Higher, go see the doctor. Or lower as well. This blood pressure is a signal for us that things are not functioning properly. Why? Blood pressure is the precise force with which the heart pumps blood. The heart is here and the blood comes from down. You need a pressure system. Think of this. Who put that pressure? To counter the gravity. Everything must fall. If I drop this device, it falls. It doesn't stay in the air. This is the reality of Mother Earth. Everything falls. But this blood works against the gravity. Now some people say, it just happened like that. How? A designer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, put it to keep you alive, to pump the blood upward to the heart. So this heart pumps blood through a vast network, vast, of arteries, veins, and of course capillaries. It must stay perfectly balanced. Too high means what? Too high and vessels will burst or organs can be damaged. Too low, the brain and body won't get enough oxygen and you pass out. Who regulated that? Nobody but Allah. Look at this delicate balance, constantly adjusted by the brain, kidneys, and hormones. Is astonishingly complex and self-regulating. We call self-regulating, but nothing becomes self-regulated in logic unless somebody regulates it. And self-regulation has to be initiated by a permanent regulation. So who did the regulation? The big regulator with capital R, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a true marvel and biological engineering. Each red blood cell, my brothers and sisters, knows its task. Every drop follows its path. Each red blood cells, they're extremely important. That's why you do the count. Blood cells, white cells, always do. If you're above 70, you should do blood work every 3 months, just to monitor. You know, a lot of people 70, mashallah, they're medically speaking, biologically they are 50. You know, there are tests for that. The number is a number. It's the reality. Some people are 50. Wallahi, they are not 50. They are 75. They don't exercise. They don't watch their diet. So number is number, but the reality is, how is your body taken care of? This amana Allah gave you. Every blood cell knows its task. Every drop follows its path, and every beat of the heart obeys Allah's command. Every time the heartbeat, that is saying sami'na wa ata'na to Allah. We hear and we obey. And not to mention, time is not with us. I was going to talk about the miracle of coagulation. When you get a cut, your blood coagulates. It stops. Unless you have hemophilia, which is a condition where it's difficult for the blood to coagulate. This is wallahi miracle. I always wondered when I was a child, what if the blood keeps flowing? But you keep pressing and then it stops. Who stopped it? Who gave the blood the ability to stop and freeze? Oh, Mother Nature. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. How about blood transfusion? Your mother, your father, your brother, your son needs blood. You can give him blood. You can save life. Your one donation saves, I believe last time I checked, 6 people or 8, especially if they use placenta as well. You know how many people save their relatives and fellow human beings? Sometimes when we announce blood around Eid al-Adha, this organization, this Masjid, we donate blood. MashaAllah, you answer our... But if you've never donated the blood, think about it. Tomorrow when I heard somebody, astaghfirullah al-azim, long time ago, donating blood is haram. I said, if you go to the hospital next time after an accident, and they're trying to save you, wake up at that time from your sleep and tell them, haram. So let them put, Coca-Cola in your brain, in your body. This is jahl, ignorance. If you can take it, you can give it. That's the rule I put. And Nabi said, وَنَهَا عَنْ مَنْعٍ وَهَاتٍ. Nabi said, you're not allowed to take but not give. If you can take it, you can give it in Islam. If you can take help, you can give help. If you can take blood, but please don't repeat this rubbish. Haram. If you save a life, save. If the doctor says you're fine, you have no issues. And look, Allah made groups. A, B, AB, O, O plus and O minus, A plus, M. La ilaha illallah. Subhanallah. And you give. And sometimes one group can give but cannot take, like O, except from similar. La ilaha illallah. Wallahi, it's not accident. And everyone has certain characteristic. Who did that? Me, you, Mother Nature? The engineer, the creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who said, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Inshallah, we stop here because I was going to get into وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْرِ الْوَرِيدِ, jugular vein. That will take another 5 minutes. We'll stop here.